Fat Joe, Remy Ma.
Yes.
That'd be us.
I love to see you guys back together.
Thank you.
I absolutely, this really touches my heart. You know what I'm saying?
We love being back together.
Yo, and the new song is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like Lean Back Part 2.
We get that a lot.
You get that a lot?
And that's hard to get.
I mean,
know?
Considering, no.
We get it a lot, but that's hard to get.
The statistics show that Lean Back was #1 for 42 weeks.
47
weeks. Excuse me, 47
Don't
weeks.
jerk us for
47 weeks in a 52-week year.
Yes.
Almost the whole year.
Almost the entire year, #1.
And that was just like, when you first heard it, it's like, oh, that's a hit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So how do you think you guys capture that energy again on the new song?
Well,
work, dedication.
Well, we wouldn't have touched it unless we got it right. You know what I'm saying? We worked hard in the studio. We got a lot to prove. She got a lot to prove. She's been gone for 6.5 years, you know. She wants her spot back on top. I want to see that happen. And the same thing with me is like, I'm like, I've been missing my sister. I've been missing working with her. I've been missing, making this music. And now that we back making music together, it's just like a perfect combination, man.
Sure. Now, we saw Remy with Terror Squad early on, but how did you guys initially link up together?
Big Pun.
Big Pun.
I met Big Pun, and from like the first day I met him, he was like, all right, you're my little sister, let me introduce you to your, 50 crazy brothers. And that's pretty much how I linked up with Joe, through Pun. After Pun passed, it didn't make sense for me to go anywhere else. Like, I had other people reaching out and stuff. It just didn't feel right to like just, branch off and go somewhere else. I stuck with what I know, and I had already grown to love these guys and stuff like that. And it was just like, that's what it is.
When you hooked up with Big Pun, like, did you spit for him like when you first saw him? Like how did that first meeting go?
Somebody that knew Pun and knew somebody that I was walking with. I was coming from school actually, and they were talking, and the guy, he was like, yeah, I'm at Pun's house. And the kid that I was with was like, really? Oh, this girl right here, she raps. So he's like, yeah, let me hear something. I'm like, no, like, who are you? I'm not rapping for you. Like, that's just how I was back then. He's like, no, seriously, let me hear something. I'll take you over to Pun's house. So I'll probably spit like a couple of bars or something. And he's like, no, I'm going to call him on the phone. And then we went over like literally around the corner from where my mom lived in the Bronx at the time. And Pun was in there with, like a lot of members from the Terror Squad. And he's like, let me hear something. And I rapped for like 2 minutes or something. He's like, oh, that's dope. That's dope. Let me hear something else. That may be the only rhyme you got. And I just went and I rapped for like probably like 10, 15 minutes straight. He was like, all right, now, let me get your number. I'm going to call you, whatever. And of course, I'm thinking this bullshit. Like, sure you are. And the next day, when I came home from school the next day, my grandmother, I was staying with my grandmother at the time, and she was like, I just hear her on the phone like, what? Do you have something in your mouth? I don't understand what you're saying. She's like, so she hands me the phone. She's like, I think it's for you. And he's like, yo, I'm downstairs, come downstairs. I'm like, downstairs where? He's like, you said you live in Castle Hill, right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, I'm in front of your projects, come downstairs. And like, I go downstairs and he's in his wide body Benz, signing autographs. He's like, yo, get in. So I get in the car, he goes, you know how to braid? Oh, black girls know how to braid. You know how to braid, right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I need some braids for this video I'm shooting today. So I'm like, you're shooting a video today? So he's like, yeah, come on in. I'm braiding his hair. While we're in the car, I start braiding. We're driving to the video shoot with him, Fat Joe, and Jennifer Lopez. So like, it was just like, from that day, I was just with him every single day after that. Literally every day.
So Pun passes, but you guys still remain Terror Squad.
Right.
And then Lean Back comes out, which really kind of cements the whole thing.
You're skipping part. Jealous One Still Envy came out.
Jealous One Still Envy.
Which was very successful.
Right.
And that, kind of set the platform for us to do another Terror Squad album and put out records like, Lean Back and Take Me Home and things of that nature.
Okay. What ultimately led you guys to start splitting apart?
I would say on my part, once I had my own situation, because during the whole recording of the Terror Squad album, Lean Back, all that, I didn't have a record deal at that point. You know, I was on all these records, and we had like the #1 record in the world, and I didn't have a record deal.
Why didn't you have a record deal?
Because my original record deal that I had was at Loud Records, and Loud Records had folded. So, you know, all the artists that was over there, you know, they was, you know, left wherever they was left.
Yeah, some went to Sony and stuff like that, yeah.
And I ended up signing the deal with Steve Rifkin again, who was with Loud through SRC Universal. And I was under the impression at the time that, you know, Joe was the end-all say, if something don't go right, Joe's gonna fix it, and that's that. And what happened with the people over at the label was when it was time to ship records for my album sales, they didn't ship what I wanted them to ship, and what the people demanded, because I was getting calls like from everywhere, like, yo, I'm at such and such store in this place, and it's not here. They just didn't ship enough albums, and I was pissed off. Like I felt like, you know, you only get one chance to make that first impression. Like your new artist is your first album. And I knew I had the records, like, you know, the test of time showed that. Conceited, whatever, Feel So Good with Neo, they still are records that to this day you could get in the car and they'll be playing. You on the club and they're playing.
Absolutely.
I don't feel like the people that had the power to, you know, put my records in the stores where they need to be, they didn't believe in me. I know he believed in me, but at the same time, he was recording his album. And he was doing his thing. So me being young and not really knowing the ins and outs of the business, I was just mad at everybody. I was mad at him. I was mad at Steve Rifkin. I was mad at Sylvia Rome, Mellows. I was mad at everybody because I just felt like, you know, how am I gonna explain this to everybody? I'm gonna tell like I'm the next bitch. I'm gonna sell all these records, everything. Like, how does this happen? And it like started going from there. Down there, then started going to like, you know, he needed me to come to a performance and I was performing on my own thing or vice versa. And it just started getting worse and worse. And then we both had people that was around us that kind of wanted it to go bad because things wasn't going too great for them. And to me, it just went all the way left. But when I was locked up, I realized that this is somebody that I genuinely cared about and I genuinely care about and love. And we have something together. This is like family. Like they literally watched me grow up. He helped me grow up. He watched my son, all of this grow up. And I didn't want to come home after doing all this time and still have any issues with Joe.
Joe, I interviewed you, I think at E1 a while back, and I think Remy was locked up at the time, and it was completely positive. You were like, yo, listen, like, I'm rooting for Remy. I can't wait till she gets home. And at the time, I think y'all still kind of had sort of things weren't fixed at the time.
Yeah, we didn't talk at the time.
Yeah, you guys weren't talking, but yet you had only positive things to say about her.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know? So when you got out, how did you guys officially reconcile?
Well, I actually called her before I got out.
Aha.
I didn't want it to be like, okay, now I'm home and now, you know, I wanted to even know, like, yo, I'm at the lowest point that I've probably been at in my whole life. And I'm reaching out to you, not because I want to do a record, I want to do an album. We didn't even discuss music at all, period. It was like straight like, listen, this can't go on. It was about a year or so and some change before I came home. And we talked for about a couple of hours. And we was like, you know, when I come home, we're going to get up, we're going to go out to lunch. Of course, you know, he's like, we're going to go out to lunch or dinner or something, his favorite thing. He's always inviting someone to a meal. And we got to talk it over. But when I came home, I had probably been home about like a week or two, and I actually came to one of his games. You know, this is like one of the greatest coaches in the world. Like, you know, we're actually, you know,
street basketball.
The Knicks, if you guys really want to, you know, take
y'all want to win, holla at your boy.
But I went to one of his games, and everyone was just
that
like,
was crazy.
Oh my God, did Remy Ma just walk in here? Like, what's going on? Like, and it was just like, it just felt like a weight was lifted off my shoulders. You know, like you somebody like you could be chilling regular, somebody like, hey, you want something to eat? And you're like, no, I'm good. But then they give it to you anyway, and then you eat it, and you realize that you was really hungry. Yeah. Like it was like something like that. Like I didn't realize at the time like how much us not speaking was affecting me and was weighing on me. And like now that that's over and that's past, like I can't get rid of this guy.
People aren't seeing this right now on camera, but I got Papoose, you know, sitting beside me, or, you know, behind me right now. And I remember when things were bad, you know, Papoose was involved in everything. And I think there was like some altercations and stuff like that. How was it really bringing you and Papoose and Joe and the crews and everything else like that all together to sort of make this what we have right
Well,
now?
you know, 6 years had passed, 6.5 years she was locked up. I think I definitely matured up myself in them 6 years. And, you know, that's her husband. And so when she came to see me, she came with him. And she said she was like, yo, thank God. So I reached out and I was like, yo, what's up? Said, what's up? And that's how we, you know what I'm saying? We just, I don't think we, right, Pat? We never even, funny style, no nothing, no, we just moved on. And then more and more, you know, it's like normal. He's my brother. She's my sister. He loves her, you know, and,
The thing
you know, I
is this.
support.
He's kind of like, it's like one of those situations where he really wanted to have a problem with me, but I'm a girl, so he really couldn't do so much. He's like, oh, that's her boyfriend I hear? All right. So, like, you know, the same thing. And I was mad at Joe, and this is like at the time he wasn't my husband yet. He's like, oh, you're mad at him? So I'm mad at him. But when me and him came together, I swear I was so I didn't know how on God's green earth I was gonna fix this. So I'm like,
Right, because neither one of these guys are pushovers.
How in the world am I gonna get these two maniacs to be?
Right.
The crazy thing, God is so good, and it worked in such a phenomenal way that it's to the point that now I feel like they gang up on me. Like
Yeah, we do.
it's sad. Like it's to the point like if I have an argument with Pap about something that he think I shouldn't do or music wise or career, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna call Joe real quick and let's see what Joe thinks about it. Or I'll be somewhere, we'll be doing an interview, like Rem, Pap's not here. That means I'm in charge. Let's go. I'm like, what the? How did this happen? But it's a good and it's a wonderful feeling when two people that you genuinely love and care about, they just get along and they both got your best interests at heart. And you know, like I know if I'm with Pat, no one's doing anything to me. Like he's gonna jump in front of a moving bullet, and vice versa with Joe. Like it's just not gonna happen. So I win both ways.
And I've known Pat for 10 years. We've done tons of interviews. I love this right here.
One there. One on my back there. You see it?
Okay.
One there, one under there. A few.
Oh, so you got stabbed all over your body?
Yeah. It ain't no lose or gain from that, you know what I mean? So, I don't see no reason to lie.
Yeah.
Punch a little Quentin in his mouth. He seemed like a nice guy, man.